Every indication we have is they're prepared to go into Ukraine.
The threat of war is increasing in Ukraine. Mortar shells go off between Russian separatists and Ukrainian troops, sending a signal that an invasion could happen within days.
My sense this will happen within the next several days.
Plus, mask mandates are dropping across Colorado and the U.S. Now the CDC is preparing to update its guidance.
Morris to win! Yes!
A win at the buzzer for the Denver Nuggets. The team heads into the All-Star break on a winning streak, and one of their rookies gets a chance to take the big stage. The situation in Ukraine is escalating. The U.S. fears Russia could use today's trading of mortar shells between Russian separatists and Ukrainian forces as a pretext for war. Thanks so much for joining us here on Denver 7 News at 11. I'm Jason GRUENAUER. Here's the latest developments as of this morning. Russia expelled the second most senior diplomat at the U.S. Embassy in Moscow. The State Department says the expulsion wasn't justified. President Joe Biden thinks Russian President Vladimir Putin will order a military attack within days. But Ukrainian officials say an invasion isn't happening. Faith Abube reports from Washington.
The threat of war appears to be increasing in Ukraine. Ukrainian National Police releasing this video they say is a result of mortar fire from Russia-backed separatists in eastern Ukraine. Ukraine authorities saying 20 children at a child care center escaped unharmed, but 3 adults were injured when the building came under fire. Both the Ukrainian government and Russian-controlled separatists are accusing each other of the attack. Independent analysis by ABC News confirms the attack happened on Ukrainian government-controlled land, seeming to bolster the Ukrainians' claims. This morning, President Biden repeating his warning that the Kremlin is planning a military attack on Ukraine very soon.
My sense this will happen within the next several days.
But Ukrainian officials strongly disagree with the U.S. view that Russia will launch an invasion on their country. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin calling the shelling in the Donbass region troubling.
We'll be watching this very closely.
U.S. officials have repeatedly accused Russia of planning false flag operations that it could use as a pretext to attack Ukraine. Just yesterday, the Kremlin launching an investigation into what it claims are mass graves of local people in the separatist-controlled regions of Ukraine. Russia also circulating a report at the UN accusing Ukraine of genocide against people in eastern Ukraine.
Mr. Putin, if he decides to invade Ukraine, will need to fabricate an excuse to manufacture a reason to go in.
This all happening as the White House says Russia continues to build up its troops near Ukraine's border, despite Russian claims it's withdrawing troops. A senior Biden administration official says 7,000 additional Russian forces have actually arrived at the border.
Today, peace and stability in the Euro-Atlantic area is under threat.
And despite these latest developments, President Biden says the door to diplomacy remains open to Russia, but right now he has no plans to call Putin. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC News.
U.S. troops are now in Poland because of the fears of a Russian invasion. They're stationed about an hour from Ukraine's border with planes, helicopters, trucks, and other equipment. President Biden ordered 2,000 troops to Europe earlier this month. Well, you might have driven in it last night, and you definitely woke up to it this morning. Another round of snow here in Colorado. This is video from the Commons Park area in Denver. We spotted some snow plows, snow blowers, and some dogs having fun out there in the fresh powder. Now, most areas in Denver got between 4 and 8 inches of snow. Outside of the metro, Genesee tops the list with nearly 9 inches. The snow moved out overnight, and we're left with lots of sunshine, but some colder temperatures. Meteorologist Stacey Donaldson joins us now to talk about what comes next. Stacey.
Well, we're going to have a nice warm up in store, but I did update this latest list because Golden put in a new total at 10.4 inches for the snow that moved on through. 7 inches for Edgewater, 6 for South Denver, and about 3 inches for Castle Rock before this storm moved on out, which it did overnight. So our satellite radar picture is nice and quiet today. Lots of sunshine in store for us, but boy, is it cold out there. It feels like 10 degrees at DIA, 14 in Fort Collins with 9 for Estes Park and 24 below for Berthoud Pass. So as we go through the rest of the day, we're still going to have low wind chills with the sunshine out there. So it will feel very comfortable. It will feel very cold, but the sunshine will make it a little more comfortable as you're out and about. Temperatures in the 30s here as we get through the early afternoon. We'll be into the 20s by the evening. Those highs today, though, in the mid 30s, and we are going to be talking about our nice weekend ahead and then in that next snowstorm that's on the 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Stacey, thank you. Well, here's a quick check of the roads right now. This shot shows conditions on I-25 near Downing, and on the CDOT map, you can see most spots in the metro are seeing some snow-packed roads, but those are the pink lines. The purple ones are showing wet and slushy spots. So not the biggest storm of the season, not the snow day many students probably were hoping for. We did have dozens of school delays this morning, so lots of kids will be in class today, but after school might be a good time to get out in that fresh powder. Denver 7's Veronica ACOSTA is live in Ruby Hill Park. Veronica.
No snow day for kiddos, Jason, but there's still a couple of them out here at Ruby Hill. You can take a look here behind me. A couple of those little ones that maybe are too young to still be in school. They're taking advantage of the fresh snow that's on the ground here at Ruby Hill Park. You can see a couple of them there trying to get up the hill. They are skiing, they are snowboarding with their parents, just having the great time of their lives this morning. And of course, a good day for it, right? Because there is that fresh powder on the ground. Now, as many of you know, you can ski, you can snowboard, you can sled here at Ruby Hill Rail Yard. Here's where some good news comes in for kids, at least once most of them get off school today, of course. Those snowboards, boots, helmets, they're all free to borrow on Thursdays, so today as well as Saturdays.
Free rentals is just to make sure that everybody has the chance to be able to experience what we're building. Skiing and snowboarding in Colorado is a huge thing, and not everybody has the chance to go up to the mountains.
So if you do want to take advantage of that today, those kiddos and adults, you can get those free rentals from 4 to 6 or 9 today. And then if you'd rather come back on Saturday, you can do that from 11 a.m. to 6 in the evening. Of course, once again, those are free for both adults and kids. We're live in Ruby Hill this morning. I'm Veronica ACOSTA, Denver 7.
All right, Veronica, we expect a rail slide next time you report there from Ruby Hill. Thanks so much for that report. All right, well, remember to shovel your sidewalks, and you have to do it within 24 hours. The city of Denver says it's done more than 3,700 inspections for sidewalk snow so far this year. Of those inspected, 160 properties were fined. And remember, you can keep up with road and weather conditions anytime on the Denver 7 Plus app. We have an hour-by-hour forecast and a 24/7 weather stream. You can download it right now to your Roku, Amazon, Apple, or Android device. New at 11, Colorado is deactivating its crisis standards of care effective today. It's because of a decline in COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations across the state. Those guidelines had been in effect since November for hospitals and since January for emergency medical services. It meant only the most severe patients were taken to the hospital by ambulance or taken to other healthcare facilities instead of a hospital. And here's a look at Colorado's COVID-19 cases. We saw about 1,100 cases yesterday, which is well below our peak of nearly 20,000 cases in early January. There are also about 700 COVID patients in Colorado hospitals. That's a number we haven't seen that low since late August. Well, COVID-19 cases are declining across the country, and the CDC is getting ready to change mask guidelines as early as next week.
We want to give people a break from things like mask wearing when these metrics are better, and then have the ability to reach for them again should things worsen.
Right now, the CDC recommends wearing masks indoors in public places in areas where there is high transmission. Now, only 3 states and Puerto Rico have yet to announce an end of mask mandates. Some cities and counties are dropping mask requirements for schools, but doctors say it's too soon to stop masking kids in school.
It is really not prudent to pull masks off children. You could create a risk that you would see an increase in infections.
The White House says it's planning to distribute high-quality masks to kids. Officials say more details will be released in the next few days. This is part of the Biden administration's ongoing plan to hand out 400 million free N95 masks. CU Boulder is keeping its indoor mask requirement. The university will provide 2 N95 or KN95 masks to students and staff. Those can be picked up at spots around the campus. For the rest of the county, Boulder County's indoor mask order expires tomorrow.
A 3 might win it. Jokic has it, 5 to shoot. Jokic backing in. Morris to win. Yes! Oh, yes!
You love to see it. The Nuggets win at the buzzer last night. This no-look pass from Nikola Jokic set up Monte Morris three-pointer right as time expired, gave the Nuggets a 117-116 win over the Warriors. It happened just after Steph Curry made a bucket with about 6 seconds left. After the game, Coach Michael Malone explained how that last play came together.
And as that clock is winding down, Nicole is going into the paint, and the clock is moving in slow motion. Is he going to go into his right hook? Is he going to drop step baseline and finish with his left? Or, hey, let's forget about overtime. Let's kick out so we can get on this plane and get the hell home. So it says about Monte's kind of mental toughness and not being afraid of the moment.
The Nuggets have now won 3 straight. They're off until next week for the All-Star break. Jokic will play in Sunday's All-Star game in Cleveland. And another Nuggets player will join the Joker in Cleveland. The NBA announced rookie Bones Hyland will play in tomorrow night's Rising Stars Challenge. He's replacing another rookie who's out with an injury. Bones has played in 46 games so far this season. Well, a Disney movie is putting a popular Latin American food in the spotlight. Coming up, we'll visit a Denver restaurant serving up arepas and other Colombian dishes. Plus, police in Canada are taking steps to remove protesters demonstrating in that country's capital.